Kilted
Tilted
balls.
balls.
Hey, welcome
Yeah.
back. Hopefully everybody's had a great week. We did 2 episodes last week, so you actually didn't have to take a big gap in between.
Super awesome. Super
Yeah.
awesome.
And if you can't tell by what we're wearing, it's St. Patty's Day, not March Madness for the Spartans. Oh wait, it's that too.
That too. So wait, were you doing a traditional Irish jig while you during the intro
In
song?
my brain I was, and I was thinking
Oh,
about like
nice.
Galway Girl by Ed
Okay,
Sheeran,
nice.
not the other one. And for today's drink,
Oh, there we go. I too have a green drink.
nice, nice.
That's
This
mine's green by food coloring.
this is not green, but it
Nope,
is.
but very
It's
traditional.
very traditional Irish stout.
My Irishness today in my drink came through Bombay.
That's close. That's close.
Is it close to the way we are here? I'm not sure. I think so.
This is like my favorite
Look,
part of
look at that
Guinness.
head. Look at that head. Is that a nitro one?
Yeah, I think so, probably.
I don't like personally. I don't like the nitro ones.
I'm just assuming because Amy bought it, so she probably just got whatever was there. Look at that sucker
I hope
go.
it's good for you. I hope it's good for you.
It is always good for me. So, I don't know if I've ever met a Guinness I didn't like. So, did
So
you
yeah,
have
St.
a good
Patrick's Day.
weekend?
I had an amazing weekend, and I haven't told you about it. I don't know if I can't remember if I talked about it last week. Well, yeah, because I said wrestling was coming up. So I volunteered this
You
last weekend
said
to
that.
help set up. I mean, overall, minus the driving, it ended up being a 15-hour day. And yes, there was the matches in between, and there was some downtime.
Sure.
And I was giving the CEO Tim Wilcox a hard time because at first I can't remember. Did I tell you he tried to tell me no?
No, I don't.
Because he put out a message that said, "Hey, I'm looking for people to help set up the ring, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Hey, like I would love to help. Let me know." And he's like, "Well, there is a lot of lifting and it's a long day because you have to tear down the ring once it's all over, load
Sure.
it up, and go back into the trailer and everything."
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, like I'm just letting you know if you need some help. Like my sheet boxes weigh 50 pounds and I'm moving them all the time. Like I'm that sneaky strong. Keep all my muscle in this area, but so, yeah, I was giving him a hard time. But he's like, well, I just want to give people a heads up. I don't want them to think that they're just going to come here and stand around and stuff. But it was really cool. It was. I haven't volunteered much. I mean, here and there, like small snippets, but like everyone else who was there, like setting up and stuff, were getting paid or some bonus was happening for them. And I was very clear, like, I'm volunteering. I want to help you out.
Right.
So, and it was cool to see like the behind the scenes, how the sausage gets made and everything like that. It was fun. It was a
That
lot of
is
fun.
awesome. That sounds great. And I
Mhm.
think volunteering is always good.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's something that a lot of people talk about and a lot of people do as far as like just different ways to give back. And, it's not like it was a non for profit company, but it was,
Hmm.
I felt that I was a big help. And, because sometimes people just start standing around and talking. And when one person is like doing everything, like other people just start doing stuff. So there's a
They
lot
do.
of
They
that where like
do.
people started talking and I'm just like doing anything I could. And then, everyone's working again. So
I love it.
that
We
was good.
I've had a couple disputes, by the way, in the past with people who volunteer or want someone to volunteer, and they don't understand that sometimes that means they have to pay them.
Oh, really?
That comes up, right? Because if
Hmm.
you're voluntarily doing something, that's
Hmm.
volunteering. So, like, if they, let me give you one, like, if they asked me to stay an hour after work,
Okay.
I can voluntarily do that. I can volunteer to do that.
Hmm.
They've still got to
That makes
pay me.
sense. Yeah.
They're like, but wait, you're volunteering. I'm like, you can't make me do it. It's got to be completely 100% me
Yeah.
volunteering to do it. There are no
Hmm.
like pressure involved,
Yeah.
no anything. But I'm worth a lot of money.
Hmm.
So You have
Yeah.
to
I
pay
mean,
me for
he did let
that.
the boys in for free. I mean, Gina and I
See?
already have our tickets, so I was very thankful for that. It's not
Hmm.
something he had to do. I was
Well, no,
thankful.
and I don't think there is volunteering, like you say, like when we
Yeah, yeah.
volunteer at the church or the
Mhm.
food kitchen, we're not trying to get paid. I'm just saying
Mhm.
there's other kinds of
No, that
volunteering
makes
where
sense.
you
Yeah.
do. And I've
That's I
gotten
thought
into
that was
that.
melancholing.
Yeah. Well, I get in that discussion sometimes because they're like, well, these people are doing it for volunteers. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Now you owe them money. And they're like, but they're
Mhm.
volunteering. I'm like, yeah, all my volunteer coaches get paid. Like, we have to
Yeah.
turn it into like the school and they get paid because they don't
Mhm.
have to. It's not part of their contract. So, but
Yeah.
it's a weird thing because then
That's
there's volunteering
mhm.
just in general.
Yeah.
So, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. And it was fun to like not pick on because I didn't know some of them well enough, but to be able to talk with some of the wrestlers and stuff when they weren't in character, which was
Nice.
kind of wild. Like a couple of them, like they're ones that you want to boo, but there's one guy. He's just starting out, and he was part of the crew, so he was talking, and he loved that's his thing is to go out and rile up the crowd. He's like, it's things that I would never say in my real life to get people mad at me. And then like then when he comes out, he doesn't care if he wins or loses, but everyone's booing him. And anything he does, he just loves that the crowd participation.
Well, it's like
So
D
that
and
was
D, but you're getting paid for it, right?
yeah,
Like
exactly,
this is the character
exactly.
I want to play today. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Today I'm going to be the Gray Demon. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I had a great time.
that's awesome. We went to a St. Patty's Day party Saturday. There's one tonight
Yeah.
too, but we had to record, so I wasn't going to go. But
Oh man.
a good Irish friend of mine, and he always makes so much corned beef and cabbage, like every
Mm-hmm.
time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always so not good.
Oh man.
I'm like, how do you mess that up? And every time he's like, isn't this like the best? And I'm like, no, no.
So let's be clear. Is there any good corned beef and
The
cabbage?
corned beef and cabbage I made today is
Okay.
amazing. I ate two or
Okay.
three helpings, and I'm super excited, right?
The closest I get to corned beef and cabbage is with bread and a lot of Thousand Island on it, and
I
which is
do
one of
love
my
a
favorite
Reuben. I
sandwiches.
love Reubens too.
One of my favorite
Hmm.
sandwiches. But I don't love the corned beef and cabbage like as a meal.
No, it's good. It's good.
People
And
like it.
corned
People like
beef
corned beef
hash.
hash too.
Corned beef hash is good too. My
Jinx. For my timing, it was exactly the same.
yeah, my girls and I we love corned beef hash. I have some in the cupboard I bought yesterday. So
Yeah, I remember. Just last time we were just golfing, you ate some.
yeah, how could you not like that?
I don't.
What's wrong with you?
I know something.
How can you like a Reuben but not like corned beef hash?
The first Reuben that I no, I guess so. When I used to work at the car dealership in West Bloomfield, there's a lot of Jewish delis around there, and that's when I
Mm,
really had a Reuben for the first time, and
yes.
they were like super good. And then there was a place in Royal Oak that I used to go to that did a Reuben, but with no meat on it. They used avocado instead, but everything else was the same, and it was super, super good too.
That's not a
So then, ever
Reuben.
since,
That's not a
ever
Reuben.
since then, Reubens are one of my favorites.
Reubens are fantastic. Well,
Mhm.
maybe you just haven't had good corned beef besides those places. Maybe if I made you corned beef, you
It's
would
it's
like it.
I you're probably right. I think the part of it is I try to stay away from meat out of a can because a lot of corned beef hash, you open it
Oh,
up, you
I'm
take it
talking
out of
about
the
corned
can.
beef. I'm talking about corned beef.
Oh, I thought you said corned beef hash.
No, no.
No.
If you don't like corned beef, like hash browns are hash browns, whether it's corned beef in your hash browns or it's sausage in your hash browns are hash browns, right?
Yeah, I
Like
guess
that's
so. If
just
you
a
put enough
favor.
Tabasco on it.
It's all potatoes and everything else, right? It's
Hmm.
all dried. So if you don't like that, I can understand it because
Okay.
right, like that's not a necessarily a taste profile thing. That's a disliking that concept of a thing.
Yes. No, I mean I enjoy cold corned beef, obviously on a sandwich,
Yes, which
but
is why I
I
think
heat
you
it
would
up. I heat
like.
it up anyways.
That's why I think you'd like it if we
A
made
good,
you corned beef.
a good corned beef and cabbage. I probably would because I've been eating a lot more cabbage too.
Like you just don't eat the cabbage. Like if you don't like cabbage, you just don't eat the cabbage, right?
I eat cabbage. Gina's dad cooks cabbage for all the big holidays and stuff, so I tried to take a little bit.
Oh, that's so good.
He's in like a giant bowl of cabbage.
Like coleslaw.
No, no, like cooked warm cabbage.
Sounds
It's
horrible.
all chopped up. It's all, maybe it's boiled. I'm not sure how
Is
it's
it not
cooked.
soured? That's got to be
It
like the
tastes like cabbage.
blandest. It's got to be
It's
like
like
the
mushy
blandest thing
cabbage.
ever. Like at least with
Well,
corned beef, it's
the,
got all the corned beef seasonings and juices, and that's what it's cooked in. So at
no, I
least it
think it's
has
just
that flavor
like
profile.
everyone. The people who love it are the same people who really like collard greens. So I kind of, those are kind of all grouped together. Like those kind of people eat that stuff. I love them, but I just don't. I don't love southern. I don't love some southern foods.
I'm not like a huge fan of collard greens,
Hmm.
but I do like a good corned beef and cabbage because the cabbage takes on the flavor profile of your corned beef seasoning and au jus for the French. Like,
Okay,
right?
I may have to try it again. It's been a while.
Like the au jus is like I shouldn't say au jus because it's not French. The juices be good, right? You make it
Hmm.
right. Like this one today was made with Guinness and beef bouillon. Like,
Oh, sounds amazing.
like that's not going to be your cabbage isn't going to taste bad. And all the and all
Bobby.
the garlic and seasonings
Yeah.
on your
See,
corned
that
beef,
sounds
like
good.
it's gonna taste amazing. And like there's potatoes, carrots, and corned beef. And the thing is it's still Irish, which means it's bland, right?
Yes.
Like Irish
Yes.
aren't Mexicans. You don't eat that and be like,
Mhm.
woo! Like you're like, I could see eating this if I was starving. Yeah,
Hmm.
right? Because that's what we do.
Well, do you ever listen to Follow Me, I'm Delicious?
No,
His name's Garen. He
no.
is hilarious. He's an Irish guy, and he puts on like a heavy accent, and he talks a lot about food. He's a big guy, but he's hilarious. He talks about how bland Irish food is and stuff. And yeah, check him out on YouTube sometime. I'll have to send you some of his funny
We
ones.
talked about how a few episodes ago we listened to those British guys coming over, and they're
Hmm.
like always amazed at how like the flavor profile of American and Michigan food is.
Hmm.
They're like everything in England is so bland. I'm like, oh yes, your food is
Hmm.
not. You guys love porridge, and we're not eating
Hmm.
porridge unless there's a shit ton of brown sugar on it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. What was it? I saw one recently. He asked how you're supposed to get stuff done at Waffle House because they went to Waffle House and he said it was the best breakfast ever. I was like, like that's the first time I ever heard those two words in the same sentence.
Oh no.
He's like smothered and covered and all this stuff. How are you supposed to do it?
That's how you do it. Smothered and covered to hide the taste. And then you pour Tabasco on it. So,
And you try to not eat all the extra grease.
and don't get me wrong, I'm super excited to go to a Waffle House on my spring break journeys. So,
There's a new one. We can walk to one from our house. There's a new one.
woo, love it. That'll be great.
Yeah.
That'll be so good. So,
Hmm.
I had a thing to talk about
Oh.
today.
Oh, awesome.
And I don't know
We
if
got
I'll
sidetracked
remember
by
it.
food.
Yeah,
It's
food
okay.
is always the better thing.
Remember
So,
20 minutes.
oh, is that what we're aiming for? Oh shit, we might need to do multiple episodes. Well, here you go. So, I went and saw a moral theologian yesterday.
Moral theologian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, a Catholic moral theologian to be
Okay.
specific. And my wife they had brought this lady in to talk when she was going through her conversion to Catholicism.
Hmm.
And she just was like amazed and thought it was so interesting. And she's like, you've got to go see it. She didn't want to like tell me about it because, as we've talked about before, I question everything. and she
Hmm.
wouldn't have the answers or be able to do it justice. But so
Yes.
she made sure that they knew to tell her when the lady was coming back, and then she was like, she's had it on my calendar for like 2 months. She didn't want me to forget.
Hmm.
So I went and listened to this lady, which one of the things she loves is when you hear like a moral theologian or a Catholic moral theologian, you think about like this old white guy.
Yeah,
And this is like a young, maybe young is the wrong term, maybe like late 30s lady with
that's
like
young.
4 kids, little petite blonde.
Hmm.
And she's out there doing her moral theologian stuff. And so she's like, I like that that's who it is talking. But anyway, it was super interesting. It was really good.
Hmm.
But then she had said something about AI. Like somebody had asked something, I don't remember. And she was like, yeah, the church is like still working through this. And so I started today looking up, like, how does the church feel? And the church actually has been really proactive in talking about AI and artificial general intelligence and
Hmm.
like how that compares to humans or not. And it's I need to go more down that rabbit hole, but so far, pretty interesting.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Right, because you and I have talked about it. Like, if you had artificial general intelligence and we show that it has consciousness, how could you then say it doesn't have a soul? And so
Hmm.
it's interesting, like when you start like thinking about that stuff and where it all goes and the rabbit holes it goes down.
Hmm.
So that's my next side brain part is where is that like spot, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're saying this, it makes me think back about when all the Dan Browns started getting really popular.
Yes.
There's going to be a number of people like yourself who it doesn't matter what new information that we have, the basis of faith and going through some of those motions, and like you say, like you get an alpha reset when you're in church, and it resets you for the whole next week, which is pretty amazing by itself. It doesn't necessarily matter, like, oh, if Mary Magdalene was actually his wife or not. Like
Right,
that's not
right.
gonna shake a foundation. Or like, if the computer is actually alive, like, or does it have a soul? Like we could argue about that, but that's not gonna. A lot of people aren't gonna be like, oh well, I'm not gonna believe this anymore. Like, I don't think that it's like the downfall of
No,
religion.
no. Well, and it was interesting. One of the things she started with when she was
Hmm.
talking is that the church, and you and I have talked about this, and we may have mentioned this on the podcast before, but I know we've talked about it with like our friends and everything.
Yeah.
That what the church believes is there is nothing faith based that you can't reason out on your own. So you should have the reasoning skills to get to the same point without,
Hmm.
like, if the Bible never existed, you should be able to get to the
Yes.
same point without that there. You should be able to
Hmm.
figure it all out, right? And she gave like tons of examples. Like, you would figure this out. You would, like, no matter what, like your brain, you would reason this. You don't need the Bible
Yeah.
to tell you it. And she does say there's some things the Bible has to tell you, right? Like
Hmm.
say the Mary Magdalene wife thing. Like,
Hmm.
we don't know that. There's no way for you to reason that out right now.
Yeah.
So that's something you've got to be told. But
Hmm.
like to do like a hot button issue. Like the church
Hmm.
is not big on transgenders.
Hmm.
And she's like, you should be able to reason out that that is wrong. You shouldn't need the Bible to tell you it's wrong. You should be able to reason out there was something that wasn't religious at all. She's like, this doesn't need to be in the Bible. Like, you
Yeah.
can reason it out. You don't have to put it in the Bible. And so
Hmm.
that was one of the things that Amy liked, because she's like, you guys always talk about how your reason should drive things. And she was up
Hmm.
there as, a representative of the diocese saying, yeah, you're supposed to
Hmm.
reason it,
That's
right?
awesome.
And they should meet each other,
Hmm.
right? is how it works. And so, there's interesting stuff like that. And her whole thing is like, let's hit these hot button issues and talk about them. So we actually
Yeah.
talked about like at one point, and I was like, I forget what question I asked, just to kind of, I was trying not to be super involved because I thought it was for other people more than me.
Yes. Hmm.
But like at one time, I'm like, okay, here's a question for you. And she starts to answer, and I'm like, oh, I asked about hermaphrodites, right? Because she was big on like male and female. And I'm like, so what about
Hmm.
hermaphrodites
Yeah.
in this like logic? And she's
Hmm.
like, oh, well, like to me, everything to me is, she goes about the gonads, like are they internal, are they external, and that you base everything on that. And she goes, I'm coming more and more around to that way of thinking. So if you're looking at a hermaphrodite, she goes, which is a small part of the population, but like when is they, you would consider them based on where their gonads are, and that's how you would
Okay.
decide if they're like a male or a female. And that intersex, she goes, I don't think is really a thing because I think you base it on where the gonads are. And I said,
Hmm.
like, what if they change? And she's like, that's what my doctoral thesis is in. I'm like, are you talking
Oh,
about reductase deficiency? And she's like, yeah, I've been like researching that. And like, I'm sure nobody else in the crowd understood shit that we were saying, right?
uh-huh.
And then like afterwards, I'm like, oh, so like, what about this? And she goes, well, actually, I'm talking more about this than I am that. And like, I was like, okay, so I told Amy, I'm like, she knows her shit. Like these
Yeah.
aren't like arbitrary things she's
That's awesome.
spouting. But going back
Hmm.
to what you said, it's the reasoning that defines it.
Hmm.
And so if you came out and said something like, somebody once was like, what would happen if you found out that Jesus was a guy? Like just some guy in the, Life of Brian scenario. I'm like, I don't
Hmm.
know why that would change anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, how could it not? And I'm like, it would change one little teeny bit of the overall scope,
Hmm.
right? But it's like those people, and we've seen lots of them because we have a lot of atheist friends. But it's like these Christians who are like, well, why don't you just kill everybody if you're not Christian? It's like,
Why would I?
why would you? Like you don't have to be Christian to know if something is right or wrong,
Hmm.
right? You can, as she said, you can reason it out and know what's right or wrong. You don't need the Bible to tell you. And so it was a
Hmm.
different take than our atheist friends who are like, you just know this. She is saying, not only do you just know it, but you can like actually reason out why it's wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need to be told it. And so that was interesting. It was interesting hearing
That's
that.
super awesome.
Yeah, I thought so. And now I want to know more about the AI, like where that would fall, because it was interesting because she talked about souls and she was talking a lot about like humans, but then she said, and like animals have, and I forget what she said. She might have said animalistic souls, where everything is
Yeah.
based on like instinct. And she goes, and
Hmm.
then you have like vegetative souls. She's like broccoli. She goes, so there's like different souls out there. She goes, but
Okay.
like,
She's
eh,
acknowledging that.
yeah, and she, like that's what the church says. And
Hmm.
people don't know that stuff, right? And that's what Amy said. She's like, if more people heard people like her talk, they probably would find religion because they would find that they're actually way, way closer than they realize they are, right?
Hmm.
And like one of them was, she's like, if we were sitting here and there was like some guy up in near the front, and I don't know what his name is, let's call him Jack. She's like, if we're sitting here and a dog ran in and bit Jack, she's like, we'd
Hmm.
all be like, why'd that dog bite Jack? And we think
Hmm.
maybe it was a mean dog. Maybe Jack had abused the dog. Maybe the dog was
Hmm.
hungry. Maybe the dog was scared. Maybe the dog was whatever. She goes, and everything we would say would be instinctual to the dog. She
Hmm.
goes, if I came running in here and bit Jack, it'd be a whole different list of questions because you know that I have reason. So you'd be
Hmm.
like, oh, maybe Jack owes her money. Maybe she's high on crack. Maybe she's going insane. Like, it wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe she's hungry. Like, that isn't it. She
Hmm.
goes, because our souls are made to reason. And an animalistic soul is not meant to reason, and a vegetative soul is like even further back, like not doing that. And I thought like that was an interesting concept, talking about
Mm-hmm.
souls that way. And then the
Yeah.
big thing in that same vein,
Mm-hmm.
which Amy will have to listen to this because she's like, you didn't take anything out of them. Like I took stuff out of it, just like different things are
Yeah,
interesting to
exactly.
different people. So like for her, like afterwards, like her and a deacon were like, what did you get out of this? Did you like now that you've been through it? What did you think? And I go, I think you really need a trusted medical power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you went through a 2 hour seminar and that's what you pulled out of it? And I'm like, don't you think that's super important? And they're like, yeah, it's stupid important. I'm like, right. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I took. Like, I'm
There we
like,
go.
damn, that's really important. I should have a trusted medical power of attorney. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all the rest of it's like fun, but like that, I was like, that's, as Amy said, you're just too literal.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, when people ask that.
Funny.
But like one of the things they were talking about was in Catholicism, and she goes, and people screw this up all the time. She goes, and I was loving it because it goes with our like blender model and everything else that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that people think there's a body and there's a soul. And she's like, as Catholics, we believe they're unified. Like your body is not a container for your soul.
Yes.
It's part of the thing. And I told Amy, I go, she said that okay. I go, but I don't think she did it justice. And she's like, what do you mean? I go, like she still made it sound like they were two separate things intertwined. Like she was like, they're
Mm-hmm.
all intertwined. I go, what they are is they're one thing. Like they aren't separate. They're body and soul. Like they're together. And she goes, well, right. I go, but they're not intertwined. They're one thing. And like in my chemistry brain, I'm like, it's like water. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's a thing called hydrogen and yeah, there's a thing called oxygen. But when you're dealing with water, the oxygen and hydrogen literally overlap like two eggs that you put too close together in a pan. And when you
Yeah.
cook them, they
I
become one.
I didn't hear what she said, but I would wonder if because so many people believe the soul is so much more than the body, which is why she said that. This aspect is one, but many and myself believes there's more to my soul than what is just here or what I can even access.
Well, and what she was doing there was talking about transgenderism.
Oh, okay.
So, like, that's where it was leading was you've got these
Nope.
people out there. She goes, you got these people that are like, oh, my soul is trapped in the wrong body.
I see.
And she's
I
like,
see.
your soul can't be trapped in the wrong body because they're together. Like, they're one
Mm-hmm.
thing. So your
Yes, I
soul
agree.
can't be in the wrong body. Like, that's the
Mm-hmm.
body it's supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And that's where she was going, which I'm like, yeah, I've heard people say that. Like, I was
Mm-hmm.
just born in the
Yeah.
wrong body. And I'm like, actually, you weren't. You have to be born in the right body. This isn't
Yeah.
like some weird lottery.
Yeah. At some level, your soul said this is.
Yeah. Said, this is what I want. And, right? And almost every belief system you and I have talked about leads to that. Like, the soul was put there for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't put into the container. It made this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't exist without the other,
Mm-hmm.
and the other doesn't really exist without this. Like, they're a thing. Though they did
Mm-hmm.
say over and over, and I'm like, ooh, let's go deeper into this. That, then your soul does leave. I'm like, how could it leave? How could it leave if they're one thing? It can't leave. They're stuck together. And so that was a rabbit hole that I thought would be really fun to go down,
Mm.
not with a whole bunch of people that I was confusing about their faith, right?
Yeah.
I think when you're having discussions like that, it helps if you're solid in what you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you get
It makes sense.
confused, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm like, yeah, the whole game isn't to confuse people.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes it is, but not in this case. In this case, like, whatever.
Not in this case.
No, 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 no. But yeah, good times, interesting
That's
times.
awesome. Sounded like you had a great weekend.
Yeah, yeah. And now, we're getting closer to break and seeing you.
I know. I was just looking. I was like, is that this weekend or next weekend? That's what looked at. I was like, oh, that's next
That's
weekend.
next weekend. A little over a week away. We'll be traveling.
I'm
So
super
we're
excited.
gonna record a minimum of one more episode, maybe two,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll be on the road. But listeners, we said we were gonna keep it to 20 minutes. It's 30 minutes now, so we
Oh
should
man.
probably wrap it up. But hey, Kilted's been making shorts. Check out the shorts. I keep thinking about making shorts. You can't check those out because
You
I'm
will
not
see
making them.
more shorts.
Well, it's getting
I know we
warmer.
said that at the beginning of the year, but I've been talking with Nova. We're working some good stuff together.
Nice, nice.
Stuff to bring in new listeners.
Oh, I
More
think
is
that's
what the shorts
wonderful.
are.
I
Or
like
like
it.
if you're not sure if you want to listen to the episode.
Well, yeah, and this episode is all over the place, so thank you so much for staying with us.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you got something out of this. Let us know your thoughts and feelings about,
Mm-hmm.
morals, theology, transgendered, AI, religion, all that fun stuff. Kilted and I love chit-chatting and talking about that,
Yep.
and you're part of us now, so we would love to hear more. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
until then, this is Ballbuster signing off.
Kill the Dragon Jerry. Love you all.